Hey folks, in this video, I am going to show you how to record and organize a stream of consciousness using AI. So if you've watched any of my past videos, you know I'm a huge daily reflection advocate. I've actually replaced my daily reflection each morning with a stream of consciousness. It's really cool. I'm super, super into it. And I don't think it's really been practical before this. And now you can just use AI to transcribe it while you're making your coffee or taking a walk. And then also, I will organize it for you so that you can get all sorts of insights. And in fact, my prompt even gives like advice to be happier in your day, gives advice to be more productive. So it's kind of like a little bit of a best friend and a therapist too. And it's just such a nice way to start your morning. I think I'm going to start adding an evening one too and seeing if it helps my sleep. So that might be a different video after this. But I'm going to walk through what a stream of consciousness is, first of all, and some of the benefits. I'm going to walk through crafting your own custom AI prompt for a stream of consciousness. I've already developed my own. You'll want to customize yours. I'm going to record a quick one and I'll skip that so you don't have to watch it. And then I'll come back and format it with AI so you can see the final result. Okay, so let's get started. What is a stream of consciousness? So I actually came about this whole thing when I did my morning pages video. And the morning pages are effectively a stream of consciousness. It is, well, traditionally you would sit down and write several pages of handwritten notes. I've taken that, moved it to digital notes, and now I'm taking it one step further and I've developed a custom AI prompt so that I can just transcribe it with my voice notes. So a stream of consciousness is effectively just a ramble of whatever's happening inside your head. I usually like to include a couple things like, things I'm thankful for, what I'm maybe feeling bad about in a day. And then after that, I'll just go to anything that's sort of swimming around my head. And usually I end up with this jumbled mass of thoughts, ideas, concerns, to-do list items, all of that good stuff. So you'll see what it is, but it can really be whatever you want it to be, because a stream of consciousness is just kind of vomiting what's in your head into your notes. And then let's talk about the benefits a little bit. So huge benefits. I'd already mentioned this, but I just really think this is the most relaxing way to possibly start your morning. It's right up there with meditation, but I might get called out for this. I think it's better than meditation because it's actually dealing with what's in your head. It's it's less of an exercise and more of a therapy, if that makes sense. And that's just how I feel about it. And so, yeah, it's kind of like doing a little self-therapy session every morning. That to me, that's the biggest benefit, is the mental health benefits. But it also is great for productivity because you know everything that's kind of stuck in your head and you're not going to forget about it. I think everyone's familiar with that sensation where you think of something important you need to do and you're like, oh, I'm definitely going to remember that. And then the whole day you're just like, oh, I have to remember this. I have to remember this. Eliminates that. It's actually a great way to start your day. And probably whatever's swimming around in your head is what you need to get today. So great for productivity, great for mental health. And I think there's going to be a bunch of benefits of it in the future too. Like I like looking back on my daily reflections and just seeing what was happening in my life, like a very long time ago, like again, 10 years ago. So yeah, I like to think that I'm going to be able to look back at these streams of consciousness, and the organization of the AI makes it very easy to just kind of skim. So those are the benefits. So let's now go into the fun part. Let's start crafting the AI prompt, or I guess not start because I have already done this. So I'm going to pull up my prompt here. Again, if you're not super familiar with Reflect, you can, I'm going to stop that there so it doesn't do the whole thing. You can save these custom prompts. So I basically just took my daily reflection prompt and rewrote it around this, but you can take any existing system prompt, clone it, give it a name at the top here. But let's kind of break down what is happening. So I've got the input. And then I instruct it to be a psychologist because that's kind of what I want it to be. But you could instruct it to be like a best friend, or maybe you want it to be more objective. And so you want it to just, maybe you want it to be a robot and just give you objective advice. I wanted it to be a bit of a therapist with a psychology lean. And then I guess I probably could have made this just me, because you'll see I have to instruct it later. And you'll have to tweak this. So it's best to do a stream of consciousness, write the prompt, run it on it, and then be like, I liked this. I didn't like that. Need to tweak it. So anyway, and then what I usually do for my formatting prompts, I just tell it that the text in parentheses is placeholder text and instruction. I tell it to keep the transcription word for word because that's very important to me. And then I give it some general instructions. So I wanted each paragraph to be its own theme. I want all of the entities backlinked. I should have mentioned that in the intro. That's another cool thing this prompt does. Uh, at the top of the transcription, I want a summarization of what's happening. And I want it to include kind of how I'm feeling, what I'm worried about. And then I tell it to below that, give me any suggestions around those things to be more joyful and productive. And then I had to add this last one in because it kept saying the person discussed. And I was like, no, that's me. Just call it me. So um, those are kind of the instructions. I might keep tweaking this, um, but you'll have to do it for what's right for you. And then in the actual, I give it sort of an example of what the format message should look like. And I have to use Markdown here because I can't edit within the prompt itself. So here I have backlinked stream of consciousness above under a bullet so that I can collapse it afterwards. And then I have it give the summary here. And then I have it give the advice. And then I have it put the actual transcription word for word. So that's what's happening in mine. I am now going to actually go record a stream of consciousness. I'll fast forward through that part so that you don't have to watch the whole thing. And then I'll come back here and we can run the prompt and see how it goes. So let me get going recording on this. And I'm actually going to warn you, this is going to be a bit of an awkward stream of consciousness because I'm not going to actually tell everyone what I'm, worried and concerned about and what's happening in my head today because it's quite intimate. So I'm going to kind of put some fake stuff. So know that a normal stream of consciousness is, it's more intimate than this. All right, I'm back now. It wasn't too awkward, but yeah, I think my audio memo was, this doesn't look like a lot of text. I think it was like 2.5, 3 minutes. Usually mine at least are 5 and going towards 10. And I do this typically while I'm walking outside. If the weather's really bad, I will do it while I'm making coffee or something. But this is what it'll look like. It'll appear if you're using Reflect under an audio memo here. And I guess I should have said this. You could do this with Super Whisper and Chat GPT or Claude. I never know how to pronounce that. I'm trying to think about that. It would be a little wonky. You would basically have to save that prompt somewhere in your notes and then tell ChatGPT to format it. So it wouldn't be that difficult, but you would have to use a couple different tools. But anyway, so I'm here in Reflect. This is what my note looks like. And then I'm just going to select the text here. And I am going to pull up stream of consciousness and a couple other things to mention while it runs the AI prompt and organizes it for me. I almost always record these on my phone. So there I just did it on my computer because we were here, but it's just so easy to do it on the mobile app. And I would probably recommend doing it there. So as you can see here, it is now just executing on all of the things. Depending on how long the stream of consciousness is and how complex your actual prompt is, it could take a minute. The reason mine takes so long is because I'm actually asking it to include the real transcription because I don't just want the summary. I want what I actually said. And so it has to run all of that through the AI again. So that's why it takes a little bit longer than most other prompts. But once you're done with it here, since I include the original transcription, I can just click replace and it will keep the original transcription with the organization elements. This is what it looks like right when you paste it in. Usually the first thing I do is just close out the audio memo because it's not. And then, by the way, I can also just collapse this. Oops, I skipped this. We're on the formatting now. And anyway, yeah, I can collapse this. This is a demo brain, so there's not going to be anything here. But if I click on the stream of consciousness note, you can then see all of them in the incoming backlink section down below at the bottom. But yeah, it's pretty great. So here I've just got my summary here. And that's actually really funny too. I think I did actually say baffling. So it gives me a description of just kind of what I was bothered with this morning, and just kind of the main themes. Then it's got some advice. So, here it's like, talking about letting go of unknowns, maintaining a gratitude journal. That's not really a great one because this is actually my gratitude journal, but, it's kind of vague advice. So I might go back into the prompt and be like, only include specific actionable, don't give vague advice, whatever. So tweak it however you want to. And then below, I've got the transcription. And that's just exactly what it was, except you can notice that it's added backlinks. So here it backlinked CPA. If this was my actual stream of consciousness, I would just say who my CPA is and link their actual name. Here, it's backlinked Arion. That's my brother-in-law. These again is my demo brain, so these people aren't actually in here. And it's pretty nice. And then I can just collapse this, and it's all sitting there in my notes, nice, clean, and formatted. Now I've considered doing a couple more things with this. Like I thought about having it add a tag of like how I'm feeling. So it could be like anxious tag or like happy, and then you could theoretically pull up all the days where you felt a certain. And then I just decided I don't know if I would actually use that. Really, I like to keep things more simple than complex. So I just left it as this. And that's pretty much it. Other things, you can do if you want. If you didn't always want to do it as a transcription, you could, of course, put this in as a template. I didn't really, I just included it as the AI prompt. And by the way, I know I always forget to do this. I'll try and copy my prompt. I'll add it to the AI prompt spreadsheet, and then I'll try and put that in the description of this video.